I have a video of Michael Irvin that would. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Damn. Ow. That hurt. Damn. Fucking wind. Ow. Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy, Joe, Bucky Beaver, and the Funky Chicken. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. You know, things are bad here at Cowboy Land. I'm not going to lie to you and try and give you a whole bunch of bullshit. But you want to hear the craziest thing? As bad as this team has been, this NFL season is literally upside down. If I had said to you that the New England Patriots of Mike Vrabel would be leading their division, having beat the Buffalo Bills, you would have said you're on crack. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! If I had said that the Steelers would be running away with their division right now, 4-1, and that the Bengals at 2-4 are in second place, and that the Ravens would be 1-5, you would have said I'm smoking crack. If I had told you that the Colts would be 5-1 with Daniel Jones leading the charge, would be leading their division with the Jaguars in second and the Texans in third at 2-3, you would have said, man, you're crazy as hell. And if I had said that the Chargers would be leading the AFC West at 4-2 with the Chiefs in behind in the rear at 3-3, you would have said no chance in hell. Now, as bad as it's been for our Cowboys, this week didn't do anything to hurt them other than realize that the Giants are in the rearview mirror. The Eagles are at 4-2, having just lost their best pass rusher, Zadarius Smith, retiring. The Commanders, with their quarterback having the sophomore slump, fumbled the football. That's right, Momo. Your quarterback fumbled the snap there on the handoff in the exchange, which led to the Bears that all of a sudden don't look quite as bad news as we thought. The Bears are who we thought they were. The Bears are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. That we're only a game and a half behind the lead in our division. But if the playoffs were to start today, here's where we would be. The Eagles, the Packers, the Buccaneers would be the number one seed, and the 49ers, with the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams, and the Lions, who just lost this past week too to Kansas City, would be your playoff teams. The NFL world is upside down, and we're seeing teams like the Atlanta Falcons losing to the Jaguars 30-0, beating the Buffalo Bills. The Chicago Bears beating the Cowboys and the Commanders. And the New York Giants losing to New Orleans on Sunday and beating the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday. I don't even know what to say about this. This is really crazy. Now, Stephen Jones, he talked yesterday on 105.3 The Fan for 11 minutes. Didn't listen to it. But Jerry Jones has gone radio silent. Nobody's heard from Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones did not speak after the game. Yesterday was his birthday. Didn't speak. Usually 9:30 a.m., he's on 105.3 The Fan. And as of yet, I haven't seen anything from Jerry Jones. That's where you look and say, he's pissed. He's pissed. Maybe he's going to do something. I don't know. I know practice starts tomorrow, so I don't think you're going to fire the defensive coordinator this late in the week. But something's got to be done on this defense. The season, as crazy as it sounds, is really, it's on life support. But I tell you what, if you beat the Commanders, you beat the Commanders, all of a sudden everything looks a lot different. And that would be the most Cowboy thing to do, is to beat Washington after losing to Carolina. And so today is kind of a different day, this Tuesday. I want to go to Tom Passero, who was filling in for Rich Eisen, because I'm curious if you feel like this is a Cowboy fan.
I think we're still trying to figure out. One of them being the team favored by the gentleman in the corner here. The Dallas Cowboys. TJ, I'm curious. They've clearly been producing offensively. Even yesterday they scored. But putting the entire package together. Right now they are very much a middle of the pack. They're 2-3-1. What do you make of your Cowboys right now?
It's so hard to really give you an answer on that. It's like you said, the offense is clicking, seemingly, without CD in there. Dak is playing amazing, low key, or even high key, I guess, statistically speaking. He's been great. This defense is just trash, man. It just... now Dallas fans are screaming for Eberflus to be shown the door based upon some of the defensive sets that happened yesterday. I mean, I try not to get overly emotional anymore about this team. You know what I mean? Like, these guys want me to sign this letter that gives up my fandom. And I don't want to do that. But I'm past the point in my life where, like, I'm going to let it ruin the next 48 hours of my life, which for decades it did, and it's just now I sit back and just watch and scratch my head sometime. It's the Carolina Panthers, and respectfully, you should be beating the Carolina Panthers, all right?
Rico Dowdle called his shot.
Rico is that what you're saying? Babe Dowdle? Like, he went in there and told you what was the deal, what was going to happen, and then you still let this guy run up your chest and down your back, right? Like, man, it was a tough watch, and I don't know where the relief comes from. The back end of the defense is terrible. I don't understand how you could go from Trevon Diggs and Deron Bland looking as great as they did a few years ago to what we see every Sunday now, man. And it's just, like I said, I'm trying to remove my emotions out of this without losing it, but man, it's sad to see.
Well, let's revisit here, too, what Rico Dowdle had to say in reference to going up against his former team.
Rico, if your message last week was buckle up to the Cowboys, what's your message after the game?
They weren't buckled up.
Fantastic line.
Fantastic.
Wow. I also would have accepted they did not stop the run. That was the rallying cry after the stunning Micah Parsons trade. It was, I believe, the first thing that Jerry Jones said in an hour-long press conference, explaining why you're trading something that every team dreams of, which is a young pass rusher in his prime who's on your team, and trading him away for picks and Kenny Clark, a nose tackle. And Jerry said over and over, a big part of this trip. We didn't even talk to teams that couldn't send us a nose tackle because we need to stop the run. We haven't been able to stop the run.
You didn't.
What happened yesterday, TJ?
The run was not stopped, Tom.
They did not stop the run. It was a lot of running. And by the way, also not a lot of pass rush. And that's where I understand where a lot of the focus goes to Matt Eberflus in these situations. And there were questions asked after the game to Brian Schottenheimer, do you have the personnel to run the system? He said, yeah. Do the players believe in the system? That's where he said, well, that's the question. I would hope, yes. Whatever is happening here defensively, there is just a roller coaster ride that they're on. Eberflus has been a top coordinator for years. Even when he was in Chicago, people talked about how hard his defense was to go up against. And part of that was just they were so disciplined. They played so hard. They flooded to the football. I don't see that consistently right now for the Dallas Cowboys. And as much as Jerry has talked about, hey, we got all these picks. We might go out and do something. We might go out and make a move to help our team.
Who are you going to get, Jerry?
I don't know that this is the type of team right now that you're thinking you're one player away from being a factor. Now, offensively, again, I would say they've exceeded reasonable expectations. No CD Lamb.
Nope.
They scored, prior to yesterday, they scored, I believe, 77 points over the previous 2 games. And yesterday, they still scored 27, right?
Yep.
So you're giving yourself a chance.
Absolutely.
Offensively, I get where you could talk yourself into, hey, we're getting healthy. CD Lamb, I was told 50-50 to play this week. They're going to get Tyler Booker back in practice this week. This offense that has been producing at a high level. And again, George Pickens has made himself as much money as anybody in the early stage of this season as a guy who is eligible for free agency. At this point, would seem like a no-brainer to franchise tag, but that's a different conversation. But are you close enough from a programmatic perspective? Do you think, you know what? We got those extra picks next year. We got an extra one next year. Let's use it now on a player that can help this team. I don't know. Jerry turns 83 today. Happy birthday, Jerry. You got a loss to the Panthers as the early birthday gift. But if you're Jerry and you're looking at this 22 days out, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he wants to be aggressive. I would not be surprised at all if he sees enough offensively, culturally to say, I think we can be competitive. The Eagles have stumbled here. The Commanders, who play tonight against the Bears, they've not been perfect. The Giants are coming off the biggest win they've had in 3 years, but they're still a 2-4 football team. Why can't we put this thing together and make a run?
This is where it's crazy.
I mean, when you put it that way, Tom, there is no one team, right, especially in NFC, that's standing out like this is the team going to the Super Bowl. So I guess in theory, right, you feel like, all right, it's still wide open, but I don't know if that's reality.
Yeah, Dallas has scored the 3rd most points in the NFL, given up the second most.
Yeah.
The teams right now with the most wins in the NFC, as I'm just pulling this up here. All right, your top
Tampa
teams
Bay.
for wins.
Yeah, a lot of teams with 4.
The Bucks are 5-1.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They've got all kinds of injuries, but they just week in and week out, they find a way. And incrementally here, they should be getting some people back, right, in the coming weeks. You got the Packers, who are 3-1-1 at this point. By virtue of win percentage, that's the order I'm going on here. They look like a tough team. They had a couple bad defensive games before the bye. Came back, played better yesterday. The 49ers at 4-2. Again, your best 2 players on defense are out for the season. The quarterback situation remains fluid. Purdy should be back sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Ooh, higher
Mac
register.
Jones is clearly not playing at 100%, but has found ways to keep him in games. I think you saw the limitations, namely from the injury, pop up a little bit more in the game yesterday. The Eagles are 4-2, and we're talking about them like they're 0-6, but they're not a perfect team at this point. The Lions,
There is nobody.
last night was a weird game. TJ and I were watching when the Jared Goff touchdown got overturned as slowly as any overturn we've ever seen.
It was like 5 minutes
was
after we were
crazy.
looking like, wait a minute, they have 3 there. What's the problem?
I read the pool report, and they literally, all the officials were like, we had to piece the thing together because Jared Goff, according to the officials, established himself under center as the quarterback and then went in motion. If you establish yourself,
You can't.
then you have to stop. But Jared Goff said he and the coaches have never heard that rule. He thought as long as you don't go under center, then that's not supposed to be called.
Because all he did was he kind of gave a tap on the rear to the center, and then he rolled out.
Right, so what is the
establishing, I thought,
threshold?
was putting your hands under there.
Right.
And
How
getting
far
set.
in there do your hands need to be until you are officially a quarterback? That is going to be an interesting conversation between the Lions and the league office through the course of this week, but they're 4-2. I think we look at them as a dangerous team.
Yeah.
The Rams at 4-2, they could be 6-0. They've had a couple games get away from them.
Yep.
And then you got Seattle, the team that nobody talks about, but one that I don't want to see right now. I don't want to see the Seahawks in the playoffs. They went down to the wire with the 49ers, obviously. They had another tough loss along the way. But the Jaguars were the fun story, and the Seahawks took it to them a little bit on the road yesterday. Granted, Jacksonville on a short week and all that, but that's a really sound team that Mike McDonald is coaching the heck out of. Sam Darnold has played really well, but for that one interception late against Tampa, we're talking about Sam Darnold potentially as an MVP candidate right now. We should. That's how well he's playing. If the playoffs began today, and they don't, we are 1/3 of the way through the season. If they did,
Do it.
the Vikings would not be in the playoffs.
Yep.
The Commanders would not be in the playoffs. Obviously, the Cowboys would not be in the playoffs.
Dang it.
But I don't know, with the number of situations with those teams above you, I certainly think Jerry Jones can convince himself that we can be buyers, not sellers, and give ourselves a chance. 22 more days, and we shall see.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for
go.
that. Check us out every single day.
All right, so that's where you might get a little bit of hope. We do get some players back, but let's be clear here. The funniest thing, this is the funniest thing. Everybody's saying, well, that last drive that the Cowboys had the ball, man, we were 3 and out. Dak sucks. Let me give you something here. Let me give you a little something here to think about. So, when the Giants and the Eagles played last Thursday, the Eagles were down 20-17. Just down by a field goal, right? Here was the drive. They get the ball. They go 3 plays for 4 yards. Giants go down to score. The next time they get the ball, they go 4 plays and 9 yards. Punt the ball to the Giants. The Giants punted it back to them. Fourth quarter, it's 27-17. The Eagles, 3 plays, 8 yards. Giants get the ball. They punt it back to the Eagles. 4 plays and an interception. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was almost a pick six. And the Giants score a touchdown. So the last 4 drives that the Eagles had produced an interception. Okay? NFL teams stop offenses. You can't score every single time. I wish we're going to need to with this defense. We're going to need to score every time. This is a known fact. But, if you're looking and saying, well, the Cowboys, that the last time they had the ball, they sucked. You're missing the big picture, bro. You're missing the big picture on the defense is atrocious, bro. This is insane. We haven't been playing exactly the premier quarterbacks in the NFL, but they're looking like the premier quarterbacks. I had seen somewhere in here that if Dak Prescott was playing our defense, that he would have like 5 touchdown passes, 5 touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown pass, about 360 yards, and about 74% completion percentage. That's what somebody did on, using AI, I guess, which sounds about right the way that our defense is playing. Dak says, well, iron sharpens iron. Actually, I always thought that whetstone, I was trying to sharpen my knives and stuff. I use a whetstone and kind of grind it. Usually when iron is kind of brittle. You kind of chips it. So maybe we got the wrong approach. So, yeah, tomorrow we get back out on the field. I'm still curious if we're going to hear from Jerry Jones at any point, and we'll be listening out for that. And I do want to at least try and feel a little bit better today. At least Washington losing last night did help.
That Ben Johnson has put in there, but they are. I think last night says more about the Bears than the Commanders. Personally, I think it tells us where they are in their development, and the answer is encouraging.
Yeah, last year they lose this game, right? Like last year they don't find a way to win. I thought what changed for me is you're watching Caleb with the maturation process for Caleb Williams. Still frustration, right? There wasn't anything perfect about last night. They didn't play like their best ball or just this incredible performance. You can't go find things you need to work on. Yeah. But he stayed in the game, right? Even on the sideline, you would see him be frustrated, but he'd come right back in. And to go down 8 the way they did and to fight their way back, I know Swift has an incredible play on the sideline, but it's giving your playmakers the opportunity. That's what they didn't do necessarily well. That's what Ben Johnson has instilled in this team this season, and it's fun to watch.
I look at this, what we're talking about, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. they're just getting started.
That's
like
right.
you watched that offense last night, they weren't even clicking on all cylinders. Yes, he designed some good screens and different things to get guys in open space, but Caleb Williams misses a long shot to Odunze down the sideline. There was passes on third down that they're just a little bit off. So if I'm a Bears fan, I'm fired up for what's to come. You watch Ben Johnson in command, being able to construct an offense to win the game, and then him even talking on the headset. You're hearing him getting after people a little bit. He has a nastiness about him, I think, on this team, leading the way that they're going to continue to grow.
This game, you, however, had a slightly different view.
I mean, I feel like I'm bringing the wet blanket, but I feel like this game was a lot more about the Commanders turning the ball over. And I mean, to be fair, I know that this Bears team in the past would have found a way to lose a game like that. So them being there and being able to capitalize on these opportunities does mean something. But I didn't walk away from this game thinking that of these two teams, the one that I think is probably more dangerous going forward, which is probably unfair for the Bears because they're building, but I still feel like Jaden Daniels and his Commanders team feel like a more formidable team in the NFC to me.
I don't think it's unfair. This is a team that was in the NFC Championship game last year, and a team, versus a team that has a brand new coach and a second year. So I just think it depends on which lens you're choosing to look at it through. If you're choosing to look at it through the Bears lens, it's all encouraging. Like it's a sloppy, bad weather game. Hey, you happen to play in Chicago in an open air stadium. Good that you can win a game like that you know how to handle adverse conditions. So everything positive with the Bears. And to your point about the Commanders, I don't think they're a team that's going to turn the ball over 3 times in a game very often. I think they'll be fine, but I think for Chicago, you come off very encouraged.
I'm a big believer in like the psychological piece of all this stuff. I think winning in that building in particular was significant for the Bears. We can show it again because you've seen it 8 million times. This is the place where everything ended for them last year. They might as well have just canceled the rest of their season after this play last year. You see, it was late October then. It's mid-October now. So it's 50 weeks ago, this thing happened. The Bears didn't win another game. They wound up fired. The Bears were 4-2 when this happened. And then all of a sudden their season went completely in the toilet. Coach gets fired a little while later, and the world is questioning if Caleb Williams is already a bust. Now here they are coming back into that building, finding a way. To your point, they didn't look like the better team last night, but you know what good teams do? They win when they are into the better team. That's right. And that's what the Bears found a way to do last night.
I think the part that I was most is when they were down 8 in the fourth quarter, and it's like a gut check, right? Like that's when you see coaching stand up, right? It's just like, okay, this is the moment, right? You can't get it all back, but let's see what we can do. And the way they use Swift all night, but again, the confidence that they are instilling in their team, that even when we're down these, we have the opportunity to come back and win these games. It's a big deal. It's a big step in the progression for the football team.
I think that's a great point about you can't get it all back at once. A year ago, Caleb Williams probably would have tried to do that.
That's right.
But you saw so many times last night, especially in adverse conditions, where the decision was appropriate to the moment.
Yes.
Whatever it was, whether it was a check down, right, or whether it was taking a chance. So I think that's where you see a lot of progress with Caleb Williams, is his ability to function in the middle of the chaos.
And I look at kind of a little Detroit-ish, like the little pitch just with like all the little things that Ben Johnson did, that they get downhill on the edges with they're allowing their offensive line to get good matchups, right? It's not like just the slugfest. He gives you good runs where you have good angles. That's a big deal for this football team.
Here's what it's not too early to say. We knew this even. Ben Johnson has a great offensive mind, right?
Yes, sir.
His offense is so creative. To your point, like even people who don't know the game the way you do can see it. They just look a little bit more creative than most teams in the NFL do, and that I think bodes very well.
Very well, and I think even beyond that, we knew he had the offensive mind.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put this out here. Now, again, we got nowhere to go but up on this defense. Through the first 6 games, we've averaged 30.7 points allowed giving up, which is 32nd in the NFL. 2,470 yards total, which is 32nd. 61 rushing first downs allowed. 53.2 third down conversion rate, 32nd. But here's the good news. We're 29th in completion percentage at 71.8. And we are 30th in yards per play at 6.2. Offense is great. They've done some hellacious things on the offense. But damn if they didn't suck up on the defense. All righty, good people. As always, you know how we roll. I got to get out of here. I got work to do here. And we'll keep up with everything that is the Cowboys.
I can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're one on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.